Alright, another killer clown movie. It's a very Halloween. I want to get who directed this. I wonder if they even wrote it. Because the dialogue in this, like, people will say something that just happened in the same scene. Like, they'll say, oh, like, there's a scene where these teens are supposed to be, the one girl of the group is like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. But she keeps saying that over and over and over and over again in the same scene. People repeat themselves, and so yeah, this isn't really a good movie. I mean, the idea of, like, it starts out with this, it's on, I believe, Halloween. This kid who's at home, this random clown is in his room. The kid doesn't scream. I guess he's, petrified, scared, whatever, or in shock. But he calls his dad to come in, and his dad comes in, and then the clown kills his dad with a knife. Very lame kills in this movie. And the idea of, I guess, a demon clown, I believe, it's not really it's explained, but it's not explained to me that well. Like, he recruits new apprentices. He recruits new people to join him in a circus. He keeps referring this as like a circus on every Halloween. And somehow that killer clown, we find out, is locked away at the end in a down in tunnels of some abandoned house that teens go down, and police. This movie is half a prequel as well, because it was written and directed by Timothy Boyle. As a journalist goes in search of the truth after a series of brutal deaths and disappearances lead back to an urban legend about a serial killing clown that has stalked the woods of Century Park for over 100 years. But yeah, this girl who's pregnant as well. The movie started out also with these group of kids on a playground where a little girl's telling a story, and that was kind of wonky. That scene, anyway, the way it looks is like they're on a green screen. I swear they're on a green screen. But then there's times it's like a faraway shot of them, like an establishing shot where they're actually at the playground, and then when close-ups, I swear it's green screen. Like, what? You couldn't afford to just whatever. So they do that. That stuck out a bit. Characters do dumb decisions where the police are like, somehow this, I get, the twist is basically the kid from the beginning that got stalked by this clown. He's actually a killer clown who works with the older clown. But then I'm like, but then they have differences between each other where somehow he locked him away for what, I don't remember or even care, or if they don't really go into details of that, but like he resents him for taking him away from his family as a child, but then he grew up to be a killer clown. So I guess he's just crazy because of that. But the movie tries to do it tries to be too ambitious. It thinks it's being so ambitious that, like, it has 3 different storylines going on. A teens thing where they want to meet the clown at night in the park or whatever. Then it has these 2 detectives that I guess they're supposed to be part of a undercover show, TV show, news show or something, which is stupid. And the movie tries to have humor as well, which is whatever. And then it goes to the present, which is about this journalist who is pregnant and she's been looking at this case of the killer clown. That's in present time. But it's weird because she keeps talking about the kid of the kid. She keeps talking about the kid. You're at this point you're thinking it's the kid from the beginning because apparently a kid is locked away in jail or whatever. Because they think he killed his parents or whatever, so they think that's. But then it's weird because then you find out no, it's the kid actually grew up and is this clown named Boo the clown or whatever. But basically, the two officers who investigate this or are called on the scene are killed, along with a cameraman who's killed, and then the teens are also killed. And then you find out, oh, that's really a prequel, because then they're like, oh, but two officers were called here. Really, was four officers if you think about it. And you can tell it was they sort of hint that it is uh three different. It's the two officers um that we follow are actually dead because it says on her computer or something, and it doesn't show their faces, but you can. I was hesitant to even think that, but then like, oh yeah, and then by the third act, it's like, oh yeah, they definitely say it. Um, but the movie, like, goes to this clown. I guess he either kills people or he turns them into him, as well. Or he turns them into clones of him, or he possesses them. But it's weird because there's like, and it's the same actor, which is funny. I guess they couldn't afford to make multiple different clowns. At least with Full Moon, they can do that. With Killjoy. But this one, like the acting's horrible. I mean, if anything, I guess the main chick, the journalist chick, she's all right. Everybody else is either whatever or oh my god. Especially the teen story that we have to follow. They're terrible. I mean, the girl that she saw her brother get taken by a clown and like her acting. She's not crying. She's like panicky, but not really so in a rush to leave. Like she's like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. Like she keeps saying that. I'm like, shut up. And then they decide to follow the noises, and then stuff happens. Each one of them gets killed off. Of course, the clown. He mentions like rules where wasn't he kept mentioning this elixir where either you drink the elixir and then you become him or you become a clown like him. I wasn't sure. But then her husband, the journalist's husband comes to the scene at the end. Then he gets possessed, as well as the camera, or her camera guy. But then he dies because he gets stabbed by the clown husband who's possessed. And then it cuts to the end of the little girl telling the story. And then you find out, oh, that little girl is actually the daughter of our journalist lead, and the dad is still. I guess they're okay, but then not really because then the little girl talks in the clown voice, like, "I was gonna get you all tonight or whatever, or see you soon or something." And I'm like, "Screw this movie." So yeah, I don't understand. I didn't understand what they were trying to do there. I guess the mom is okay now with. Does she know that her daughter's evil or what? And her husband is somewhat, I guess, evil, but then not really. But then they're okay with her talking. But then I'm like, why would you? And but then she mentions her mom told her the story. So then I'm like, why would you tell your daughter a traumatizing, horrifying, scary story? One that's a true story that happened to you. But whatever. I don't know. Maybe she must have drank the elixir or something, or I don't know. But also, then when the guy at the beginning, they abducted the kid because he's chained up at the end. Then it just cuts the credits, and I'm like, wow, okay, that was somewhat downbeat. Uh, Editing's whatever, not interesting at all. characters do dumb decisions, an ending that is just so abrupt and doesn't clarify things, where you don't care. I said the acting was bad. Um, the effects are whatever in this. Like the kills are lame. Um, even the look of the killer clown guy, like I was hoping it was gonna be better, but no, it wasn't. Um, it was basically like they painted his face pale, like white, like, and then they put like extra makeup over the top of his forehead and face. So I don't know. It was whatever. Um, even the other clown, like the older clown, the father figure clown guy, he did. I didn't care for his design either, really. Um, but yeah, it wasn't really much to run home about. It was kind of tedious and boring at times and frustrating for sure. But yeah, I would say avoid this one. Don't watch it. It's lame. There's better killer clown movies like It, 90s It anyway. Or Terrifier. But yeah. Uh, Hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a like and comment down below. And peace and love.